Hey everybody, here we are.
Welcome.
We're not holiday cubing. We're FNMing.
Definitely not.
So whoa. Now we're just holiday cube FNMing. Goodness. We'll get there. So change of pace a little bit. I'm here with Matt. We've done this once on a Friday, a couple weeks ago.
But Kyra's away at Santa Clara.
City Games, man, that's brilliant right there. Done.
There we go.
Perfect.
Awesome.
There's not a thing that's we got the wrong names. Everything's wrong. Everything's wrong.
I'm not Patrick, that's for sure.
I made.
Yeah.
So, do we have anybody here watching already with our little 3-minute countdown? Nice.
We do.
We do. We're gonna try and do that little like 5-minute tight countdowns for Tuesdays and Friday nights, so you guys have a little bit of time to get in here right before we start. And of course, we'll have the round timer up as well. So.
Definitely. Sort of a smaller tournament today. Only 8 players here.
Goodness.
But
8 players.
Yeah. But we'll still bring you guys 3 rounds of awesome Legacy action.
It's going to be awesome. We're going to move this whole thing.
That sounds like
it's going to be awful. Idea. Sorry, guys. Sorry, everybody. Oh, that's awful.
Ooh.
Don't
Careful.
touch it. Okay, there we go. We're gonna, you guys all just changed monitors completely. It's really exciting what just happened. So let us know if the volume is where it should be. Sometimes we get that a little off. That's the wrong thing. It should be good. So we don't have pairings posted just yet. They should be going up just about now, and then we'll get our round timer and everything going. That'd be great. Oh look, I didn't actually transition. There, I corrected all of that.
There we go.
So we've got some players sitting down. I'm not sure why. We got to play with our timer. We were having it restart instead of, say, end of round. And that's what it did again. It just started over again. I'm not sure what we did to mess that up. But we'll figure it out.
We'll get there.
So we've got Calvin versus Terry. And I'm just going to transition you guys over and let you watch me type in their names here.
Awesome shuffle can.
Yeah. Calvin has been on a couple different lists. I think he's playing Grixis tonight.
Usually seems to be on some kind of Grixis or 4-color.
Yeah, he played like a Canadian Threshold in our 1K.
Cool.
And I'm not 100% sure what Terry's been on.
Well, we'll find out.
And then for our backup match, we have Jason and Steven. And I think this is Jason. So, you guys have some Legacy to watch.
Oh yeah.
Tomorrow. Good evening, Jorgensen.
Hi, Jorgensen.
It's the team Santa Clara, so there will be some Legacy. There also will be some not Legacy. It's always awkward when you're like, yes, I finally get to tune in live, and you watch and they're like playing standard.
Womp womp.
Yeah, like could this match finish up so that we could watch some Legacy, please? That's a cool playmat. I like that.
Very cool.
All right.
All right. Opening hands being drawn.
Yeah, almost.
People shuffling and cutting. Yeah, looks like we got some.
Let's see what our round timer is actually
on the back table there.
Let's change this to 2. All right, so that's a more accurate round timer.
Looks like Terry's gonna take a mulligan there.
Yay! We gotta watch some mulliganing. Let's see if he's on. He's probably on burn or blue red.
One of the two.
All right, we got a glimpse of Calvin's hand there.
I saw a fetch land, and that's about it.
Yeah. Multiply is roughed. It's very roughed. I agree. Is that the renamed version with Wish? Yes. Nick's Wish Fit. Take down the whole thing. That's the actual total name of the deck, actually. It's an acronym. It's NWFTTWTD.
Okay, so starting out with the Thoughtseize here, and we get to see Terry's hand, which contains its own Thoughtseize, Baleful Strix, a land, a Brainstorm, and Liliana.
And that Brainstorm is out of here. It's out of here. You maybe want to take Thoughtseize there if there's something in your hand that's just amazing, but it's pretty easy to take a Brainstorm.
Yeah, and you're already so many cards ahead. I think trading 1-for-1's not really a big problem. You just want to keep him off of extra cards.
Yep. Leaving him Thoughtseize kind of makes him fetch a duel as well.
True.
And if you're sitting with a Wasteland, that feels good.
Yeah.
Yep. Kyre's playing Nick's Wish Fit. I don't know what he's going to call it. In Santa Clara, Brian's going to be on a what's the card? It's a black-red Reveler deck.
Oh, okay.
4 of Revelers. Bedlam Reveler. I like the card a lot. 4 of seems a lot, but I haven't played Modern, so.
Yeah, hard to say. I've only ever seen the 3-color versions of that deck. Sort of the Mardu color.
So Calvin feels pretty good about this. He can just sit on this Deathrite Shaman and win the game. Terry was lucky to find another land. So he's playing just Esper, or is he playing 4 colors?
Hard to say. I would guess 4 color.
That Liliana of the Veil kind of says he's on a 4-color deck. It doesn't.
Yeah.
We'll put it up there because it's fun to change things. It's fun to be wrong.
So Baleful Strix coming down on Terry's side, drawing a card and providing a 1/1 beater.
It could die at any moment.
Oh yeah,
it draws a card, is what it does.
It well, if it dies, then it traded for 2 cards.
Yeah, yeah, and it drew out a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
He's playing with his lands in front. That just feels very last year. I don't think that you're allowed to do that in 2018. Maybe it's changed. Abzan Rector or something unfun. Yeah. What guild? What shard? What con can we call this deck and throw in a thing? They'll call it curses, and Kyra will throw a fit. Is what'll happen. It would be pretty funny if they did. And absolutely not call it what he names it.
All right, so a 3rd land for Terry, and in response to after the fetch happens, we're going to see a Deathrite activating.
Yeah, there's 4 colors in there.
Oh yeah.
There's a tropical island at the bottom.
Fetches up another Tundra. And he cannot cast a Liliana off of that.
He's going to fetch all of the things.
There we go.
I'm going to get the Badlands. No. I'm going to get it. Or it was a Scrubland.
Yeah.
No. Tundra. No. There we go. This one casts True Name and Liliana.
Exactly.
That's what this does.
You have to imagine you're seeing Liliana come into play here. And there it is.
Yeah. There it is. And a response. So we do have a Nick's Fit deck in the room. We have Les, who's been kind of on it. He's been messing around with it a little bit, trying to do some different things. He's trying out Glittering Wish as a 5th or 5th and 6th. I don't know how many there are. Wish.
Interesting.
It kind of gets you all of the removal, which
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's kind of an interesting idea.
If you're gonna do wishes, let's do wishes. Yeah. I'm not sure. I think I'm still on the, what is this card? This thing that we were looking at. Bitterheart Witch. I kind of like that as a 1 of somewhere in the 75.
I could see that. That's the one when it dies, you get a curse?
Yeah, so it's not as restrictive as the Rector in that you can't exile it in response.
Right.
It costs 1 more, and it has Death Touch.
Yeah.
So it gets around Surgical Extraction and
Death Touch is a nice bonus.
Yeah, a lot of people like Curse of Misfortunes. I think it's I think it's a little too slow. You want your curse to do something the turn it comes out. Most times.
So here comes a Stoneforge on Terry's side.
And so now we get to accurately call this a 4-color blade deck.
Yeah.
Before we weren't sure, maybe it was 4-color control, and now Stoneforge Mystic makes it a batter blade deck.
Power Skull deck works too.
So Terry's actually come out of this a little. He's all right. I thought game was over when he took that brainstorm, but he was able to draw a land, draw a couple more, and get there.
Calvin really hasn't had much in the way of interaction to deal with these threats that Terry's been playing. We're going to see a bolt hit that Stoneforge pretty quick here, but he still has to deal with the Liliana, which is ticking up and up and up. And he's not really able to deal any damage to it because it's ticking up on the Deathrite Shaman, so it's giving it -2 power.
And Terry is refusing to use our life dice, even though they're right there. So he's at some number of life now. It's probably around 16 or so. Yeah. 2 Deathrite Shamans.
For sure.
And I think that's it. Plus 2 fetches, so 14 life. 14 to 15 right now.
But you have to imagine if that Lily goes ultimate, it's going to be very hard for Calvin to
that's
to do
near
anything.
Impossible. I had a match where I was trying to ultimate Lily, and it became they just had to do one thing just to knock it down each turn, just a little bit. And then since that's all I had.
Second Deathrite coming down on Calvin's side. And another land. Not really ideal for Calvin here, although the second Deathrite will be able to start putting some pressure on Terry's life total.
Jorgen's in that match sounds familiar. Yeah, I wonder where that happened. When there's a Liliana versus
I wonder
a bunch of Blood Moon effects. Can't seem to forget that. Have you seen the new Blood Sun card?
Yeah, the one it draws a card and abilities of lands cannot be activated.
But any mana abilities can.
Yeah.
So I didn't think this all the way through. You have a card called Lotus Veil.
Okay.
And you have a card from Weatherlight called Scorched Ruin, I think.
Now that one I don't know.
Scorched Ruin is pretty much the same thing, except instead of tapping for 3 of any one color, it taps for 4 colorless.
Oh wow. Interesting.
Those have both spiked in price already. I think Veil is up to 40 and Scorched Ruin is like 30.
Wow.
And they were what, maybe $10 cards for some silly EDH stuff.
So you're getting around the sacrifice effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And coming down and tapping for it sounds a little wonky. But if you're playing the card anyway, maybe.
Sure.
Maybe.
I think the problem with that type of strategy is you already have to get to 3 mana to drop it.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you have all these lands that you can't play, you could. The Veil works, right? It just if you can go Veil, they don't have Wasteland, and you can drop the spell, and then the next Veil is free. That's why I say it sounds a little wonky, but
you never know. There might be another piece to the puzzle that makes it work.
Yeah.
Here comes an Abrupt Decay, and that's right on time, taking that Liliana down right before it was getting to the danger zone.
That was an Abrupt Decay timing joke right there.
Yeah.
Almost. It was abrupt.
So now I think these 2 Deathrites are going to really start swinging the game back in Calvin's favor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And we're just going to go back and forth.
Go back and forth.
The advantage bar just keeps... we don't actually have an advantage bar.
Stoneforge coming down finds Jite, and yeah.
The league match has started. What? How has the league match started, MTG bot? What? We don't even have Magic Online open. Goodness. Okay. We're 0-1 in whatever's happening.
All right, well.
That makes sense. They probably are. That makes some sense. Unfortunately, I can't just jump over. I guess I could like try and kick him out. I could log in here. It's probably not nice.
Nah.
So everybody loves Deathrite Shaman matchups, right?
Of course.
The mirrors of Deathrite Shamans are so exciting to watch. You never know. The person with more Deathrites usually wins.
Never has there been a more powerful squire.
Okay. They can get killed by samurai weapons.
Oh yeah. Well,
especially ones equipped with
most
owls.
Most squires can.
Snapcaster.
Snapcaster. Abrupt decay on Jite.
Yeah, it was kind of weird timing to play it then, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of unusual to see that happen. I suppose he sort of thought the coast was clear because Calvin has 0 cards in hand, I believe.
Yeah.
So just kind of hoping to fade for a turn.
And it was mana efficient to run it out there.
Sure, definitely. Might even be trying to both equip and activate, get that Batter Skull going next turn. So
yeah, there you go. Run out Batter Skull.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that Batter Skull and card underneath it are his hand.
Yeah.
Just to
make things a little bit more complicated.
We just want to be
state.
confused.
Yeah.
It's way fun to be confused, right? I mean, it's no Blood Moon that you run out and then try and tap your Ancient Tomb for 2 colorless mana. It's not that confusing.
I remember that match. All right, in for 2 with the Baleful Strixes.
Yeah, I think I like leaving. Oh. Snapcaster just came down, so it's not like he could have left that up. Huh? Yeah, there were like 4 permanents. I wasn't doing anything. You were doing things. I mean, six turns later, we're like, wait a minute.
It is very easy to forget that your cards affect your own board as well as your opponents.
I didn't get to see both sides, everybody's hands, so I had no idea what was going on. I could only see my own stuff. I had to make guesses. It was weird. Deathrite, tapping.
All right. Some Deathrite activations coming in.
Very exciting. Terry can respond to one of them.
Yeah, I think he's just going to leave it open. So the question becomes, will Batterskull be enough to race against the Deathrites? And I think a lot of that will depend on what's on top of Calvin's deck.
Yeah. Yep. If he draws an answer.
Yep.
Or not. Terry's at 10 or less. Based off of my amazing calculations here.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
You've got at least 3 Deathrite activations and 3 fetches. All right, in comes Batterskull.
Ah, now we can finally understand what's happening.
With that lovely germ token.
Apparently, he's too good for it.
Yep.
It's too good. It clashed with his mat. So I get it. You got to let that mat be seen.
Looks like Calvin might have drawn a second Snapcaster Mage for a Lightning Bolt. And in response, we're going to see a Deathrite activation.
Whoops.
And then Deathrite's going to activate again in response, just to swing that 2 damage the other way.
So Terry's maybe at 7 or 8. It'll be fun. We'll all find out together. It'll be great.
This Batterskull's going to start making it more confusing to keep track of the live
now I'll have to ask him to change it up.
In for 2 in the air with those 1/1 flying Death Touch Owls. Calvin down to 7. We do know that life total.
See, he wants to attack with his germ here. He can bounce it back and replay it. Kind of a weird.
Yeah. Kind of interesting to see that go.
He did
Okay.
attack with it as well.
Good. Brainstorm coming in on Terry's side. And see 2 lands, and I couldn't quite glimpse that third card, but he seems to like it. He put the 2 lands on top.
Should have made a Baneslayer Angel. Well, when shouldn't you make a Baneslayer Angel? That should always be the play, right? Hey, HC Fox. Welcome in. I'm pretty sure that the guy with more foils wins, right? That's how these games work.
Usually. Calvin does have quite a lot of foils.
Yeah. I don't even know why we were like trying to figure it out. Which one's shinier? That side. Got it.
Advantage. There's a tropical island coming into play on Terry's side. And incoming Deathrite activation. We're going to see some life gain on Calvin's side.
So he's responding, right, to Terry doing it.
Sure.
Like, no, you can't. You can't have this life.
Ooh,
Strictly
that's
better.
a bad one, Fox.
Strictly better.
That's a bad
He's
one.
used to be. It feels rehashed. All right, there's a chump block.
Okay.
Terry goes up to some. Oh, he's actually got the dice. He's using the dice now. We just can't
way
see
too
it.
low.
I don't think I can. Fix that.
Well, it's still a mystery to us then.
I'll have him fix it after this game.
Yeah, hates control.
What is this? Blasphemy. Wizards has stopped preventing people from doing this for any stream match.
2 in the air, Calvin down to 3 again. And another chump block with a Snapcaster.
There was a Yu-Gi-Oh! No, the Thoughtseize doesn't count. The Thoughtseize is pretty cool. I like it. And some picking up of cards.
Yep. Looks like Terry took that game.
Oh, I got bent. So our other match is also shuffling, so we'll stay here for a minute. I'll get these guys to move their dice.
Okay.
And,
there we go. Now we got some dice. Our backup match is also currently shuffling, so we'll just stay here and keep you guys on this main table. All right.
is it better? Oh, we can see it now.
We can see.
All right. Well, these guys
We've
are
got life totals, and
doing
our backup
things.
finally started. So.
So we've got Jason over here and Steven on the left. These guys are in, I think, game 2. And it looks like Jason went first, so we can pretend that Steven got the first game.
2 Swift Spears in play.
Very fast.
Doesn't look like there's a second land there.
Yeah, that's one of those weird keeps. So it looks like What do we have? We have Grixis from Steven.
Yeah.
As well.
Grixis versus Burn.
Whoa. Burn him to the ground. Or swift spear him to the face until he casts a toxic deluge. And Fox is the master of puns that make you go, eh. No, I liked Strixely better the first time I heard it. I thought it was hilarious.
I think Strixely better is pretty good.
Ah, the end of the spears are on fire. I don't know. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think they're on fire.
Maybe you're just more strict in the puns that you accept.
More strict. There's all sorts of weird shuffling happening on the other table. Jorgensen would love it. Why is the camera being... It's like light and then dark. Light and then dark.
No.
It's great fun.
Eidolon of the Great Revel coming in on Jason's side of the board.
That's pretty strong.
That's what you want to see.
Yeah.
Pyrostatic Pillar on a 2/2.
That's a good way to win the game right there.
Oh, yeah.
If you have Swift Sphere, Eidolon, and your opponent hasn't done anything yet.
And if you have any burn, you're pretty well set up.
We might see the end of this game before these guys finish sideboarding.
We very well might.
I don't think Eidolon. I don't think.
Yeah, you're stretching it there, Fox.
That's one of those when you say it out loud, people are like, "Okay, you don't think that the," but when you type it, you okay, yeah, I see what you did there. So he plays a Pyromancer, and then Therapy, and there's the there's the token. This is net positive, right? He gets a counter or a token, and he loses 2 life instead of losing potentially 3 life, right? Taking Steering Blades there works out pretty well.
Sure, he's still going to take a ton of damage off of these Eidolons.
That's a card.
That does look like a Skullcrack.
Is that a promo? I don't think I knew that was a card. I think it's game 2, Jorgensen. We're on game 2 on the other one, so this is our backup match.
It looks like our front match is about to get going here.
Yep. All right. We didn't get to see the end.
All right.
We're going to go back. Even though you wanted to see burn, I'll keep you updated. One player is losing life.
We did see that second Eidolon hit the bin.
Sorry.
There we go. All right.
So there isn't a promo of Skullcrack, right? So it's got to be something else. It's text list.
Pyroclasm, possibly?
I don't think that's the upper. Wow, I thought our other match was going to start, and I transitioned over, and it's not. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Yep, I think it's Pyroclasm.
Yeah!
Yep.
Pyroclasm. It's just this, like, thing of flame. Something maybe is in there burning, and that's it. That's a great textless card.
All right, we're finally underway. So, Underground Sea versus 2 fetches from Calvin. And here comes a Ponder.
Oh, I didn't update this one either.
I think Calvin lost that game.
Oh, yep. I just assumed after seeing the way that the game started out.
Ah.
That makes sense.
All right, so.
Shiny Things says yes. I got that one. Yes. It's Pyrocloud. Yeah, this one's Ponder. I know that one. That Texas card.
And Shiny Things, you of all people should be happy that we're back on this match because Calvin has plenty of Shiny Things.
He gets too distracted with this match, though.
Ah.
Especially when the camera keeps... Do you guys see that on your end? Or is that just happening over here? That it like keeps going light and then dark and then light and then dark? Not at that rate, but just occasionally. A little flicker effect. Or is that just my monitor? I'm curious.
All right, so Brainstorm on Calvin's side.
Yeah, you saw it. Yeah, we gotta mess with the cameras again. Well, for some reason,
one of these days we'll get it working.
See, we have 3 cameras, right? One of them looking at us and then the 2 tables. For some reason, when you go into the computer and say, hey, I want to mess with the settings, it only messes with that one.
Yeah, that's
no matter what. So we have to like unplug that one to mess with the other ones and
then hope.
It's a whole process. Great fun. We need like 3 different cameras made by different companies, which is not what I think we want to be doing, but
no.
It's a high quality production process right here. That's what we do. It's a bug. Joey, yeah.
Hi, Joey.
It's when you just come into chat and just start typing things. It's a Bagugi bog. I'm not sure what that is. Sylvan Library, maybe that was his guess for the Texas card.
Could be.
He was wrong.
Sylvan Library coming down. All right. So Terry going for a fetch. Looks like he sided in Surgical Extraction. And now I see that happen a lot with Snapcaster decks. I'm not sure that I really agree with bringing in Surgical Extractions in this matchup. You do see it a lot with people, but I think it's very rare that you get full value off of a Surgical Extraction in this type of a matchup.
It's kind of a weird, hey, I have cards in my deck that aren't optimal. And I have this Surgical Extraction in my sideboard that could be amazing, so it's got to come in, obviously, right?
Right, yeah.
And sometimes it's just not correct. Ground Seal is better, obviously. Why isn't everybody playing Ground Seal? You know what I think it might be? I think it might be the red of his playmat is messing with the camera's...
it might be.
Auto, the white balance thing that it uses. It uses red for that.
So True Name enters the battlefield on Terry's side. We saw Brainstorm on Calvin's side, and now he's resolving a Sylvan Library activation. Fortunately, we haven't had to deal with any players using a Brainstorm during their upkeep for their
when there's a
Sylvan Library activation, and
that's when
dealing with putting extra cards back on the top after that for cards drawn for the turn. Man, that's a tough one to get figured out.
Yeah, right. That's when Magic Online shuts down.
Thoughtseize coming in, and we'll get it. Or no, excuse me, that's a Diabolic Edict. Diabolic Edict taking care of that True Name.
Pretty on time right there. Wow, the lighting is going to drive me crazy. I apologize to everybody who's loving that at home. Sometimes his mat is like bright red, other times it's like maroon.
Yeah.
Just keeps changing.
All right, so.
Yeah, MTGO, it's actually easier. It just sounds like a misdirection, reset the whole game thing.
Down comes a Gideon, and we see a Knight Ally token coming in. And I think that's going to be hard for Calvin to deal with. It's cost 4, so you can't Abrupt Decay it. We see Abrupt Decay in Calvin's hand, actually. It's not going to be easily dealt with like a Delve creature.
Right.
So a Gurmag angler is not going to get in there anytime soon.
There's possibilities, right? An angler could in combination with like a
right
dailies
with,
or something.
Exactly, with some combination of cards, but it's going to take more than just one card to answer off of Calvin's side.
Going true name into Gideon is especially like, do you have the answer for this one? Oh, you do. How about this one?
Sure.
Good luck. Yeah. But he's got a library. He's got access to some cards.
Definitely. But if he doesn't find an answer fast, he's also going to get hit pretty hard.
He just needs a Krakus right here in his Grixis deck. I saw actually a solid Grixis deck, control deck that was playing a 1-of Krakus. Just as a colorless mana source that could bounce things.
Sure. I did see a lightning bolt on the top 3 there, and that's a good start for dealing with that Gideon. So Calvin is going to keep 1 extra card there. Looks like. Down comes Deathrite.
Yeah, and that's where library gives you an advantage, right? Is when you're using your life as a resource and you're saying, okay, my clock, my actual time clock with Gideon here is I'm disadvantaged. So instead, I'm going to ramp that up, how much life I'm losing, and have more cards, resources. Yeah.
I would suppose if Calvin's able to get some number of Colligan's command type effects and burn effects, he would be able to deal with that Gideon and possibly start churning through those tokens that are being made as well. But down comes a Stoneforge, so Terry just with beats upon beats upon beats. Let's see what he gets here. Probably Batterskull, but you could definitely make an argument for GT.
Oh yeah. When everything Calvin had last game was Deathrites and Snapcasters.
Ooh, Sword of
Fire Knights.
Fire Knights. I always have to do the check.
Yes. Yeah. He's got a promo Fatal Push, and a Abrupt Decay, and a Lightning Bolt, and one. What's his blue card?
Is it I'm unsure. Might be a Snapcaster. If it's a Snapcaster, this makes a lot of sense. Especially running that bolt out now.
Yeah, he could clear the board of almost everything here. He'll still have a token that gets equipped that I'll have to deal with.
Definitely, but a big start for sure. So another land comes down for Calvin. Yeah, that looks like we're gonna see a Snapcaster come down.
And of course, we're like trying to find these lines for Calvin to come back, right? When he's obviously down. And we're just ignoring the fact that Terry could have anything in his hand. He's playing blue cards, he's playing white cards. He could certainly still have answers here.
Oh, definitely.
We'll just pretend that Terry only has, the equipment that he went and searched for. There we go.
So, here comes a Brainstorm in response. No doubt looking for some of those ads. There's a Force Will.
Force of Will. Yeah. Those things might change the game here.
Some answers.
Stadanu! Ahoy. Are you just happy? Are you reveling in the pirate spoilers? I'm pretty sure that Paragon needs to reinstate, redo the Legacy Pirate. We'll make it red-blue or blue-black or cut blue entire. I don't know. We'll have a red-blue clone pirate instead of a better, lower-costed non-red clone that we have. It'll be great.
All right, so Force Pitch Force deals with that bolt coming in. Kind of interesting to do it that way. kind of surprised he didn't try to brainstorm in response to the Snapcaster and go after that.
Yep.
But regardless, maybe he thought, well, I'm only going to deal with it if it's going after my Gideon. I don't really care if it's going after like my Stoneforge or something like that.
It's also a little strange to pitch another force when you have 5 mana up, when your force becomes a hard counter.
Sure, I'm not sure if he had another blue card in hand.
Yeah, maybe not. But he's in a fine position.
Sure. So we're going to see a decay on the sword. 2/2 coming across, and we'll probably see a trade, I'm assuming, with Snapcaster. Although he's thinking about just taking the damage. Yeah.
The dice. It's a spin down, but sometimes it's really hard to find that life.
For sure.
Where is it?
And Fatal pushes a token.
You need to pick out 10 tokens. You do need to. But I don't know if you need to or not. I don't have the sheet. 10 Merit Lage is done.
Man, that Merit Lage art is really sweet, though.
It is cool. Especially if you like showed up to a GP or something. Like,
yeah. Studatnu, I thought you'd get all over those pirate tokens.
Yeah, they're very menacing.
Yeah. But
Snapcaster number 2. This game looks familiar.
Yeah.
We're replacing a Deathrite on Calvin's side with a Sylvan Library. And, Gideon's going to die.
Cool.
Terry getting a little aggressive with his attacks and leaving himself a little open there. That changes the game a little bit.
Well, that's definitely step 1 for Calvin.
10 pictures of myself? Because that's what the pirate? It's like I don't remember, is it a cat pirate?
It is.
Looking thing?
That's got a parrot on its shoulder.
Right? Big Red Joe, welcome in. Anybody that I haven't said welcome to because you guys haven't said evening to us, welcome to you guys too.
Oh, and here comes down a Jace.
Okay.
Jace is going to brainstorm, and I think I just saw another true name get put in Terry's hand there.
He just played a land for turn, so he won't. Hey, free smells. Hello, sir. I do that. I just kind of assume. It's really bad. Hello, person. Yeah, you guys all get a welcome. We're very welcoming here. Later in the stream, not so much, but at the beginning. A Deathrite Shaman's eating a true name nemesis, puts Calvin back up to 11 life. We actually get to see Terry's life total this game.
We do.
He's at 19.
And we get to see that library doing lots of work, keeping Calvin full of cards and answers to deal with all these threats coming down on Terry's side.
Yeah, so here's a potential Leovold and him to Turok turn. If he wants to pay some life, I'd be down for that.
He is down to 11, and he has to kind of wonder how much he can afford to go down. But I think if you're adding in a Leovold, it's pretty safe.
Yeah. You and I know that one of Terry's cards is a Swords to Plowshares. So if he's sitting on anything less than 3 cards, that him isn't going to be quite as valuable as it could be.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, he's going to eat it. Go down to 7. Or
down to 3.
Woof.
All right. Needle coming down. Have to assume that's naming Jace.
Yeah.
Probably not naming Deathrite.
I guess Snapcaster is a legitimate idea there, but...
All right. Incoming Swords to Plowshares.
I'm not sure what it targeted.
Probably going to target Leovold. Let him get his 1 card.
It might be in response to Leovold, however.
It could be.
How did he go from 11 to 3? Yeah, I think he still has a card.
I think he's got one that he's holding pretty close to.
Yep.
Close to him.
Maybe not.
Oh, okay. So Swords in response to Leovold on the Deathrite.
Okay.
Calvin thinking about how much he can attack with, how much he needs to stay back with. And I'm not really sure if Calvin can attack with much more than a single Snapcaster. Even that might be a little bit rough. Now, we know that Terry has a true name in hand.
Yeah, I don't see this other card that he could have drawn either. So I wonder if he took the wrong amount of life there.
There's true name. And yeah, true name and a Deathrite on board is going to be kind of a rough spot for Calvin.
So there's the him. Huh. Well, I'm going to ask him.
Yeah.
I think their life total's wrong.
There is 2.0. We're going to double check life totals here, make sure everyone's on the same page. There we go.
That'll change the game quite a bit. Or
yeah,
it could change the game quite a bit. And
well, it definitely gives Calvin a lot more room to work with.
He's like, I took these 2 cards. I should lose 8 life. That's not quite how it works.
Not exactly. Yeah.
You saved the day. Huzzah! Yeah, we were thinking he kept his other cards.
The him,
and that would have made sense. There's no way to cast them all.
Right.
Terry, move your lands back. he didn't hear me. Stood on there. I tried. I told him. Did what you asked. So this is game 2. And they're down to about under 15 minutes or so. Our round timer isn't exact, but it's close.
Yeah. So Calvin down to 3, staring down a true name.
Yeah, that's a card.
And a Deathrite.
All right.
And that looks like that's going to be
totally extended the game a whole turn is what you did, Jorgensen.
Yeah.
You saved the not much at all.
So Terry takes that match 2-0.
Here's a board state for you guys.
Wow.
This is one of those Magic the Puzzlings. Figure this one out. How did we get here? So what Steven did is he just played a lot of things and never attacked. Just cause he wanted to. And Jason, on the other hand, kept trying to play things and we're putting down cards as if things are happening.
Are we doing
I'm pretty sure Jason's losing there. So I think Steven. Yeah, there's enough damage there. It doesn't matter what he fire blasts.
Yeah.
And then he'd be pretty empty.
So I think that means that Steven won the match.
Yeah.
2-1 would be my guess.
It's turned into a game of war. This guy. I'll take this one off the top. I like that. They just both lay down their hands. Like, now what?
I have these.
I've got this relevant spell. Well, I've got these irrelevant spells. So we instead get to watch some sideboarding. And then some shuffling. It's going to be great fun.
Although that should be match for them, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Terry got it 2-0.
Yeah.
I was still on the Calvin 1 game plan, game 1. There it is. I'll mark it. Make it very official. Now I'll remember. D-sideboard. Yeah. I was trying to show you guys more Magic, but no. No.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in and watching us today.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing else on, right? It's Friday. There's nothing to do. What can be better?
Nothing to do but go play Magic.
Well, some people are on the East Coast. They've already gone and played Magic and they're done. That's what's happening.
Oh, you can never be done.
Let's pull up while we're hanging out here for 10 minutes. Let's look at potential. I can't type and speak at the same time, apparently. Potential legacy playable
Okay.
new cards.
Yeah.
Spoilers. There's not much.
Now, I haven't seen many of these yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll make it more exciting. Okay, so here's obvious playable card number 1. Ready?
Okay.
Not necessarily. Patrick is not here, and the current record is not. See, everybody has seen this card and immediately said legacy playable planeswalker, right? Right?
All right.
You discard a card and lose 2 life, and you get to steal a creature. And
yeah.
no, it's not.
It's
not
not.
legacy playable.
It's not very legacy playable.
No.
I would venture that it will see no
None.
legacy
None.
play.
None whatsoever. None. All right. I'll find you guys a more realistic one. Blood Sun. Somebody want to see Blood Sun? Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's already seen this now, but if you haven't, here's a card. We were talking about this earlier.
We were.
So this is the one that has spiked some Weatherlight lands, being Lotus Veil and Scorched Ruin, I think it's called.
Sure.
And there's some potential there. There's some potential in other areas as well. What this does is it shuts down fetch lands, and it shuts down other cards like Blood Moon.
Right.
But it doesn't shut down Tron lands, which is...
Right. So it's not going to stop Soul Lands, which is pretty big. It's not going to stop greedy mana bases with a bunch of different colors. It does stop fetch lands.
Yep.
Just stops them dead.
And so it might have an impact in Modern, but probably not because of Tron.
Yeah.
And it might have an impact of Legacy. Yeah, some of the lands that had drawbacks, really. So you're actually helping yourself instead of hurting your opponent.
Yep.
And if you think of it that way.
City of Traders is a big Blood Sun winner. Yep.
yeah, Jay Winner. I think we were saying the same thing. Is the play around, maybe there might be a way that you can make it work, but the payoff probably isn't worth what you'd have to go through to get there.
Right.
They also really nicely shut down Wasteland. This shuts down Wasteland and Ghost Quarter and some other cards that
you bet
could interfere with such a game plan if you were going to try and make a Lotus Veil thing work. I don't even know what you do with.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lotus Veil working with Blood Sun in your deck.
The best things that I can see you doing with stuff like that is basically a big mana like mud strategy, something like that, and using that to replace like Cloud Post and that sort of a thing.
Yeah, Toronto can even use it to shut down opponents' Ghost Quarters. All right, here's one more while we're hanging out. Let's see if I've got a stream timer on this one. Nope, I don't.
Yeah, most decks are just going to want Blood Moon. And
there we go. That'll work.
In most formats where it's relevant, Blood Moon's just going to be better.
This card's kind of interesting. It has flash. It costs 4, which makes it... It's in that... what's the black-blue guy that whenever your opponent would draw a card, you draw it instead?
Notion Thief.
Notion Thief. It's kind of in that range of card right away. So both Modern and Legacy kind of cringe at it. But your opponent makes a 20/20 with Dark Depths, and you go, ha, I get it instead.
Interesting.
That could be neat. Or it might have more play in Standard.
I think at 4 mana, it's a little too cute.
Yep. There's not many decks that are playing tokens for this to matter.
Sure.
There might be some. In Standard, at least. It might be a card. I'm going to keep bouncing back and forth like this. Better things to be doing against lands. Yeah. I don't think Blood Sun is correct. Let's put this on here as well. There's our round timer. Let's see what we've got. This one. Okay. All right. Is there anything else that just speaks to you?
Release the Wind jumps out to me a little bit. As sort of a
its owner may cast it.
Just kind of a blue Vindicate type effect almost. Well,
so do we cast it without paying I don't think so. There it is.
It's at least instant, which is kind of nice, and it's blue, which means it pitches to Force of Will, probably on the fringe of getting anything going there. But
yeah, yep. There's a lot of these where the mana cost is close. There's another one that's like, that's a 2 mana one. Let's see. It's a boomerang effect. Here's a card. How about this guy? Something might happen with this. This one's one of those you read it at first and you go, okay, that sounds familiar. And then you realize that Memory Jar is banned in Legacy. And this might be better in some ways than Memory Jar. It's not necessarily, but they're doing slightly different things. But all it takes is a way to sacrifice this thing. And then not only do you get all the new cards you just drew, but you get your old cards back too.
Interesting.
This might be something. It's one of those. It's going to take some effort to break it or to make it work. Either way, whether make it work in Modern or break it in Legacy, how about that? But okay, there might be something to this.
Also note it is target player, so you can do some interesting things with your opponent's hands as well. You can make them draw a lot of cards. You can.
Oh, you can't see the card. Sorry, I suddenly made it more difficult for you to see things. There we go.
Yeah, kind of a hatching plans type thing.
Yeah, except better, right?
Yeah.
Or potentially better, because when you...
That's an interesting card, yeah.
I'm not sure if it is or not, but it's a card. If you want to brew, if you want a Legacy brew, some people probably look at that and go,
enchantments are pretty hard to kind of sacrifice.
Right. A little different. Yeah, a little bit more build around me.
Yeah.
It's a sorcery. A Flood of Recollection. 2 blue, return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand, but it's a sorcery. All right, we've got some next round going here.
Cool.
I'm just going to jump right into it because they already started. And I'll get the names correct here. So we've got Les versus Jeff.
So that must be Les on the left if he's on Nick Fit type.
Les is playing some, we'll call it Nick's Fit, with some Living Wishes.
Cool.
And Jeff is playing Death in Texas. So we are on round 2.
All right.
And we can't see a thing because I'm doing this. Whoa. Round 21.
Round 21.
Whoa. It's been a long day. Here we go.
All right.
So Les is demonstrating the awesomeness that is Nick's Fit, in general, where you get to Cabal Therapy your opponent, and then you get to do it again, and everybody goes finds lands. Everyone's a winner. Except for the guy who just got therapied twice.
Now, unlike most typical Legacy decks, Death in Texas does play a decent number of basics, so they are going to keep up with the land count that you're getting off of Veteran Explorer. But you have to think if you're less, you're pretty happy if you're sacking your Veteran Explorer.
Yeah, right. If you get to strip 2 cards from your opponent's hand.
Oh, yeah.
And you're ramping up. You're feeling pretty good. Oh, let's fix this round timer here, so I guess.
Oh, and here comes a Living Wish. So we're going to see Les search his sideboard, and he finds a Phyrexian Revoker. And in Les's hand, I do see an Academy Rector. It looks like he also has Dovescape. And that Revoker that we saw. Unsure if he has a 4th land, though.
There we go. Wow, that took me way too long to figure that out. Why does it have to be in 24-hour time?
It looks like he does have 4th land.
Big Red Joe, you said something there. Some Grixis control, but I couldn't read the first word. The part. Something.
Standard
Grixis. I don't know
control.
I don't know what that is.
What card do you think is going to be good for Grixis control? All right, so Jeff gets a Batter Skull to hand. Off of that Stoneforge, does some more shuffling.
Mastermind's acquisition.
Mastermind's acquisition.
Sounds like a blue card.
Tutor or wish for 2 black.
Oh, yeah. It's a black card.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better than the wish.
Interesting.
If Les is playing Glittering Wish, right?
Very
It's stronger
interesting.
than that. Some anti on stream? Sorry, Free Smells. I don't think that's gonna.
Yeah, that's not
gonna
gonna happen.
The very first Magic computer game on Micropost. Micropost was the creator of it. Chandelar.
Okay.
You played for Anti versus the computer, and it was great fun. I love that thing, and it still has a following. People still update the game and
Really?
port it over to new operating systems. There could almost be, there could almost be Anti again if Magic ever became versus the computer like that. I don't think it's ever going to, though.
No. All right, so Flicker Wisp coming in.
Flicker Wisping of Planes. Totally makes sense. This little insect thing comes in, and then spirit, whatever it is. And
Seems better than going for the Revoker, which is gonna come back and name whatever it named before.
yeah, Big Red Joe, I'm glad you're liking it. I think it's a lot of fun to play, even if it's not the best deck, or always has the best draws or the best, legacy-ness.
It's definitely really fun. Like, it feels like you're doing fun things.
Yeah.
Like,
And the potential is fun too,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm trying to put out this 10-drop enchantment.
Right.
What are you doing? Oh, Swords to Plowshares. That's not fair. He doesn't get a trigger. Sometimes Nixfit will get out either Phyrexian Tower or wow, I'm blinking on cards today. What's the bad survival of the fittest?
Evolutionary Leap.
Yeah, Leap. I've played this deck a ton and I can't do it. And then Swords becomes kind of a blank card because you just get to sack in response.
Sure. Yeah.
I literally just described Omni Show. Well, okay. Fine.
Ooh, so Les just drew Overwhelming Splendor, which is not what you want to see in your hand.
Not really. And this is kind of rough too. He's got to lay out the Rector.
Yeah.
He just saw Swords, but
Jeff is down to 1 card in hand, 2 now after the draw.
hopefully not another Swords. It makes a great blocker for this 4/4
Sure.
germ.
Says, would you care to attack?
Uh-huh. And Jeff doesn't know that he has Overwhelming Splendor in hand, so he has to play around it. So he's going to move the Batter Skull. Like a jerk is what he's going to do.
That germ token's going to go away, but we're going to see a 7 power flying vigilant Flicker Wisp coming in.
What kind of creature type is a Flicker Wisp?
I believe it's, I don't know. Is it an elemental? Unsure.
Oh, look it up. It's a wisp.
It is an elemental.
Elemental, of course.
There we go.
That's what I was saying all along. What are you? Oh, okay. There's kind of an attack.
So we see Lingering Souls getting ready to be in fine chump blocking mode for the Flicker Wisp.
Jeff's going to gain all the life.
Fortunately, Les isn't really too concerned about life total. At least on Jeff's side.
Yep.
He'll kill him from whatever eventually.
He's got Toughscape and Overwhelming Splendor in hand.
Exactly.
Ah.
And that's going to be rough. I think if you're Les, it's going to depend on whether he has Cruel Reality in his deck.
Which I think he does. Not sure if he still has it. Yeah, see, that would be great right here until Jeff says, okay, I'll just play another creature.
Sure. But you might be able to churn through enough souls tokens to make it stick. Before the Flicker Wisp was equipped, maybe Curse of Death's Hold would have been good enough. Now it's not going to be.
So he's at 33.
33.
Most of you guys in chat have probably seen this deck in action, this Nyx Fit deck. We play it quite a bit. But it's a fun deck. Kyer, the guy I'm usually streaming with on Tuesdays, took it to a fun 5-0 league, and not a fun, but a competitive 5-0 league, and kind of got the deck out there, and some other people have picked it up online.
Sure.
He's going to be playing it in Santa Clara for the team event. And maybe Ben, who was here for our 1K, also will be playing it in Santa Clara. So we might see some. It'd be kind of interesting to
see a good representation.
Yeah,
we'll see.
There's so much that goes into a team event. The deck could go undefeated, and we wouldn't see it on any list anywhere, depending on how his teammates do, right? So those lists are kind of weird to look at top results from.
That is the weird thing about being paired up with other formats, is it's not just single deck dependent.
Right. All right, so Resharding Ports are going to lock Les out of the game pretty much there. There's not much he's going to be able to do with just 2 mana. If Swords hadn't hit, maybe things would have been differently, but...
Well, and a couple of rough draws on Les's end there. Getting 2 of those large enchantments into hand. He only runs 1 in the deck of each.
So it looks like we're on game 2 over here.
And it's Burn again.
And looks like Terry took down the first game, probably.
Yep. We're going to see a Force coming in, taking care of that Eidolon.
I'm not sure if he got the first game or not. Or if he just missed a land drop.
Could be. Here comes Brainstorm on Terry's side. And we see 2 lands, another Brainstorm, Swords to Plowshares, and it looks like... is that a Warmth?
Oh, that'd be a thing.
What is that white card? Didn't look like Circle of Protection.
No. I'm not sure.
Well, we're doing more land land fetch. Oh, this one maybe not. This one no. Okay, I'll go for the basic. Stoneforge coming in. It might be Jorgensen.
We keep getting this just glimpse of it.
Disenchant. Could be a disenchant. That still seems kind of interesting. I suppose if he thinks that there's going to be like the possibility of Blood Moons, and it does hit Eidolon.
It hits Eidolon and Sulfuric Vortex. So
it does hit Vortex, yeah. So there definitely are a few hits that Disenchant will get.
Yeah,
that's a Disenchant. Yep. Terry fetching up a lot of basics here too. He might be worried about Blood Moon.
Or just I'm on it today on Fridays. Wow. The 2 damage for each basic or non-basic.
Yes. Price of Progress. Yeah. Price of Progress.
Yeah. I'm trying to get chat to be more interactive. That's why I'm purposefully not thinking of things.
Terry does seem to have a lot of answers in hand. We see a Spell Pierce and Ponder, lots of lands. And this Batter Skull is probably going to run away with things.
Yeah, if he can land Batter Skull, he'll be all right. The other match is still sideboarding.
So,
yes, they do have some more Texas lands back. They brought them back with the return to Zendikar, right? For the Battle of Zendikar and all that fun stuff. And then there's some in Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation, but not as much. Just one of each.
And the new Unset.
Yeah. And then there's a whole crazy different one from the Unstable.
Yep.
But those ones he's got there are from Unhinged, the second Unstable. So they've been around for a while. Yeah, and you can see that reflective in the price of like the Texas land. Some of the foils are much more affordable than there once were because now there's more variety of Texas foils.
Mm-hmm.
Swiftspear should be removed.
Instead of the graveyard.
He swordsed it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to matter. Otherwise, I'd say something.
Down comes the Germ Token, holding that Batter Skull.
Yeah, Sir Megalot. If you haven't seen the Unstable ones, I have to think through the name every time. Take a look, pull them up.
They're pretty cool.
Google them. They're just something fun and different.
All right, here comes that Disenchant coming down.
Yep. All right, we should be close here to this other match.
It looks like we're just drawing hands, and Les is going to take them all again. So we'll stick with this match.
Fire Blast! Using those pesky 2 additional mountains he didn't want. They're pretty neat and they're pretty affordable. A lot of people purchased this Unstable set, I think mostly because of the lands or something they wanted. And so there's been a lot of them out there.
Definitely. All right, so Terry's going to jump to a very comfortable life total here. He's got an active Jita going and an active Batter Skull in play. And you have to figure with Jason, with pretty limited cards in hand, I think he's got 1, maybe 2, that it's going to take a lot to get back out of this. Step 1 would probably have to be something like Sulfuric Vortex to stop life gain. And then step 2 would be some way to deal with all the things on the board before he dies to his own vortex.
Yeah. Just a few steps.
Like, you know.
I like it.
All right. Back over to our main match. We've got Death and Taxes off to a fine start with a Plains in play. And on Les's side, we see he's fetched for a Plains and a Forest.
An Arena promo forest.
Arena promo.
Get your Ice Age promo forests here. That's pretty cool. I like that one. He owns Odyssey. Not quite as exciting.
And Veteran Explorer coming into play.
So he probably just drew that for the turn. Here you can see that Glittering Wish in Les's hand. He's trying it out. I'm not sure about it.
Wish Deed. It looked like a Garrick.
Yeah.
And a land.
So Les doesn't want to see a Thalia here. Looks like Jeff is stuck on 1 land, so it's not going to happen. That's going to be a huge thing for Les here.
He might be able to pull back out of it, though, because Veteran Explorer will, when it dies, give Jeff his 2 lands as well.
Yes. I'm not sure how many of each. I think it's probably 4 living and 1 or 2 Glittering Wish.
Hard to say, Joe.
Yeah, Glittering Wish is a little strange. It lets you go find multicolored cards, right? And yeah, it's a lot of wishing. But the multicolored cards are mostly removal. So it's like a Vindicate or a Deed in the sideboard or something that's not really the... I don't know, he's trying it out.
Wow, so second Veteran Explorer coming into play. And kind of an interesting thing with the Dryad Arbor. Dryad Arbor will die to Deed immediately if he cracks.
This is a weird spot where you kind of want to start losing your veteran explorers, but you really don't.
Right. I think at this point, Les is pretty happy just to land a Garrick, start making some 2/2s, and go to town.
Yeah, you don't need to necessarily flip your Garrick like you would want to otherwise. That was great.
So here comes Garrick.
Oh, he's going to do it this way instead.
Interesting. Not sure if that's the way that I would go with this right now.
Yeah.
But regardless, that is the way that Les is going with it. And so we're going to see a couple lands enter the battlefield for each player. Garrick flipped, which will allow him to search up for a Academy Rector, possibly as soon as next turn.
Yep.
And then Deed should be able to sack and get that Rector online pretty quickly.
And meanwhile destroy anything Jeff's got going on.
Sure.
Yeah, I like the idea of just playing 2/2s for days there, and
all right, here comes a potential disenchant,
Okay.
and we're going to see an activation
use
for
it.
one.
Get all the manas. Definitely changed the game, didn't it?
Yeah.
Now Jeff can run out things without threat of Deed or
Right. And now all it's going to take is something as simple as a Phyrexian Revoker to get that Garrick offline, and Les is left to the mercy of the top of his deck.
Yeah, let's see how it plays out for him. Sometimes when you're playing a fun deck like Nick's Fit, you get in the mindset of, I want to do this thing.
Sure.
And you're not looking at it as saying, oh, what's the strongest line that I should be doing to win this game? It's, I want to play Overwhelming Splendor. That's what I need to do. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do.
Cavern of Souls coming into play on Jeff's side. Have to imagine that that's going to name human. Could be wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, here comes a Council's Judgment.
Yep.
Gonna vote for Garrick. And I think Les votes the same. I think it's very rare that you see two opposing votes in that.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird templated card that way, where it's templated for multiplayer.
And he had the Revoker.
Yeah.
So I have to assume Revoker's going to name something along the lines of evolutionary.
Yeah, Leap is probably the right choice there.
Oh, and just the hard cast Cruel Reality. Okay, so we've got a game here.
Yeah. You already used up one Disenchant. You already used up one Council's Judgment. So this is the one that it's going to deal Jeff 5 damage unless he sacrifices a creature. Actually, he has to sacrifice a creature or a Planeswalker, and if he can't, it deals 5 damage to him.
Definitely.
I love it. Chat's, well, Big Red Joe, who's speaking for chat right now. We, as in us Knicks Fit players, are still in the game. Nobody identifies with this death and taxes thing.
So Jeff saying, well, go for it. And I see Les has a Glittering Wish in hand.
So here you can see the downside of this card, right? He doesn't have a target he really wants to get right now. Like, he'll be able to get a Vindicate, okay, but it's not the same as Living Wish for a Rector or Living Wish for a Phyrexian Tower. He could Living Wish for what's the one that makes birds?
Dovescape.
But it's
run
in
a
his
second
main deck.
one in the board.
No, like if he cited it out, but then why would you want it?
So Lingering Souls coming in.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anything at all, it's pretty good. Jeff's got 4 cards in hand.
Sure.
He's got all the mana to play whatever he wants. I'm not sure what he's got that he didn't play there.
I don't know. Hard to say. It looks like there's a Swords. And you can't really Swords anything of value on Les's side right now. Can't see what else.
So the other card Les has is his sacrifice a creature and tutor for something.
Sure. Diabolic Intent.
Yeah. Just looks like that's what he's going to do here. He can still flashback souls and intent. It's a sorcery. So
Sure.
He can't do it later.
And I'm not sure. I think Les is gonna be content just to kind of sit on this board. I would. Make Jeff do something before you commit to that intent.
Yeah.
Already down to 6 life. We're looking at potentially next turn being the last turn.
Yeah, Glittering Wish is a sorcery.
Sure.
It looked like Les was kind of playing
right,
around as if it might be an instant, but it's not.
So Les takes that game. We're 1-1. And it looks like
our burn match is over already.
Surprisingly, the burn matchup's already done.
Weird. So while these guys are shuffling up, I was watching a Gabby Sparks Legacy or Holiday Cube stream.
Okay.
She had LSV with her, which is often a thing. Either he's in chat or he was actually like Skyped in, so they had both screens.
Usually trolling her the whole time.
Just trolling her hard. Which, like, if you want to like get better at drafting, have every decision you make second guessed by LSV every time. Holy cow. But midway through the stream, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Midway through the stream, Brandon Sanderson jumped into the chat, the author, and they were both like, wait. It's like Mistborn Brandon is his Twitch chat name. So they weren't, LSV knew, but she wasn't sure that it was actually him, right? So suddenly, everybody in chat, once they realize it's actually Brandon Sanderson, this is this really famous, really popular author. He lives here in Utah. Everybody starts talking to him. It became a Brandon Sanderson chat.
That's funny.
It was kind of cool though, just to have him jump in, say hi to them,
and completely hijack.
Yeah. And he's a low key guy, so it wasn't like that. He took off and went back to work.
That's great. All right, so we got some opening hands being drawn here. It looks like Les has a Veteran Explorer, but he does have an Overwhelming Splendor in hand already.
Yeah, so when you have Overwhelming Splendor in hand, it's often like, especially if that's the one you try to get first, it's often like you're sitting on something less than a 6-card hand. So it's almost a free mulligan if you want it. So the rest of his hand better be pretty sweet. And it is. He's got the Explorer, the Cabal Therapy, a Sylvan Library. Those are the things you want.
Cool. First turn Needle coming down for Jeff. What do you name with that? Do you name Tower? Do you name what do you name? You could name Leap.
Yeah, Leap is the card that is the engine, but sometimes we haven't even seen it.
Yeah.
So it looks like Les whiffed on the first one. Yeah, Leap is the obvious
Leap
choice.
seems like the obvious name, but we haven't even seen a single Leap.
Yeah.
I suppose you could name Garrick.
Garrick acts as Leap
5 and
4
6,
and 5. It
4
depends
and 5.
on what the numbers are there.
Surgical.
Oh, this is rude.
Therapy.
That changes Les's game plan quite a bit.
Les is going to be pretty unhappy with that. Although I suppose he's happier that this is happening to his therapies than to his rectors. But now, unlike before, this does seem like a matchup where Surgical is quite strong.
Oh yeah, yep. Surgical is a hard card to play around when you're the Nyx Fit player. It can be really challenging. We've played around it online. I think our match versus I'm going to try and think of a player and on today when I can't think of anything.
Well, I've certainly watched you play this deck before, where Lingering Souls became your backup.
Right. Whoever we lost to online, man, Joe Lissette. It sounds like we played around Surgical Extraction, and we shouldn't have. We should have just gone for it. And if we had just gone for it, we could have won that match, or that game at least. Wow! Miniature Earthquake! Everybody hold on to something. So we get to see all of Les's hand. It's less than amazing now. He's still got the Veteran Explorer. He's got an Overwhelming Splendor and the Library and 3 lands.
Jeff's going to take the time, write that down.
So we've had discussions where you actually hold up therapy, so that you can be sure to get the value out of it.
Sure.
It wouldn't have mattered here.
Well, yeah.
No, it would have. He would have been able to play it.
Right.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
Les waited a turn,
Yep.
instead of therapying on turn 1, he would be able to land this Explorer,
And then
cast therapy, and before priority gets back to Jeff, use therapy again.
Yeah. And there's no reason not to with this deck. That's kind of a hard thing. You have turn 1 Cabal Therapy. You go, turn 1 Cabal Therapy. But there's no real reason not to, because he would have definitely played Veteran Explorer this turn and then gone for therapy, right? So he wouldn't have had unused mana or anything like that if he had done it that way and waited. I guess the one reason too is if the thing you're naming you're really afraid is coming down that next turn.
Sure.
Like a Thalia or something.
Yeah. And being on the draw, Les might be feeling a little bit more pressured to go quicker and try to get under whatever Jeff's doing to lock him out.
Yeah. I don't know what he named. The first time, yep. He missed whatever it was. It may have been Swords to Plowshares.
So interestingly enough, if Les had waited on that therapy, if Jeff had the Wasteland in play, he might have been able to do some fancy stacking of triggers to make things work so he could still exile the therapy. But that's not the case. Not needed.
2 Veteran Explorers. Wasteland doesn't look as strong here.
Definitely not. And worth noting, these Nyx Fit decks play so many basics that it's usually not an issue of their mana being halted.
Here's a 2/2 double strike protection from black and green.
And Wasteland coming in on that. On that bayou.
And Les forgot about Sylvan Library. It's a card. It's there. He just says, I'll just draw this one. I don't need to look at 3.
Only need 1.
Yeah. So he's got a... Man, I'm blanking on every card. He's got the card that's in his hand. -2/-2 to your things.
Curse of
no the choice where you duress your opponent -2/-2 to a creature and
collective brutality.
I like how you're like making it sound like it's difficult to pick up the card. And I'm just blanking on everything today. Yeah, so I think he's gonna play that on one of his explorers here.
Sure. Oh, we're gonna see a Glittering Wish. Interesting.
Okay.
Let's see what we got.
What gold card do you want here?
Deed.
Okay.
So, setting up potentially to deed in 2 turns?
Yeah.
You could deed next turn for just your explorers, but if you wait, you could get that Mirren Crusader off the board.
Right. And that's a threat.
It is, yeah. It's pretty much unblockable except for Lingering Souls tokens. It's dealing 4 damage a turn. If he ever gets a sword or something, it's going to do a lot more.
So, Overwhelming Splendor costs 8. If he's able to get both of the explorers to go, that's 7 lands. That's pretty close to being able to play that out, and then that changes the Mirren Crusader a lot as well.
You bet.
You have to worry about the disenchant or other type of spells. Flicker Wisp is also... Flicker Wisp doesn't actually bounce the Overwhelming Splendor, does it?
No, it's turned off.
Yeah. I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. You might as well get 2 basics out right away, and then you still would have mana to Glittering Wish. And now you're in this weird, do I play out the deed I just got and leave it all open, or get some... Okay, here's an intent.
So intent coming in. And we're going to see some Veteran Explorer triggers going on.
Is there a lot of delay today, Jorgensen? Strange. On the chat, because you say Collective Brutality way back when I was trying to think of that card. That was forever ago. Yeah, it is weird how the stream sometimes when I'm watching, it's just slowly gets a little bit delayed, and then you're way behind. All right, so we've got intent. Did you see? Oh, he's got to pull that now, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to go search with intent. That's kind of a weird. I need
Explore
to shuffle
first.
my deck
Yep.
and let you cut, and then I'm going to go search my deck.
Being very proper about the order.
He gets a Rector. He wants a different Rector.
He's thinking about it. I'm not really sure what else he would get here.
Yeah, especially with that needle probably naming Leap, right?
He's thinking about Collective Brutality or Cruel Reality.
Yeah.
Okay. So Cruel Reality, I believe, does cost 7.
Yes.
So he would be able to cast that off of the second Explorer dying. But again, we're still 2 turns out. So Jeff with a lot of fresh new mana to work with over there. Let's see what he does with it this turn. Right now he's just juggling where that Caracas is. Gonna get got by Council's Judgment, Jorgensen says.
And Rector's a dangerous play as well. Because of Cirque to Plowshares. You
Sure. really
want to have the Phyrexian Tower out in play.
Gideon coming down.
Okay.
Interesting. So Gideon makes a Night Ally, and Jeff gets in there for 4. And worth noting, Deed does not take care of Planeswalkers, which is 2 less advantage when it comes to Garrick, and 2 the disadvantage when it comes to dealing with opposing cards like Jace, Gideon, all those nice little 4-mana Planeswalkers.
Yeah, Gideon's just good versus
Sure.
Splendor anyway.
So, if you're less, can you even risk playing anything this turn? Or do you just kind of have to pass? Looks like he's going to Deed, and then with the extra mana... Oh! So that's going to draw out the swords right there.
2 less mana for less again, just like last game. Les probably hoping to be able to play out Rector there. Or...
And yeah, that's pretty brutal, because I think as Les, you're definitely going to try to land that Rector after.
So now Brutality is just being used as a duress effect?
Sure. It looks like 2 mana duress coming in.
I think Needle was on Evolutionary Leap, but it got blown up with the Deed.
Ooh, and we see a Rest in Peace as well. That's going to be a rough time for Les.
Yep.
Rest in Peace and Mother of Runes.
Yeah, rest in peace probably will finish things off.
So ways that Les can get out of the rest in peace. He could Glittering Wish for an abrupt decay or something along that line. Is there a Living Wish target, like a Reclamation Sage or something like that?
We have a Rec Sage just for that very reason. As a way to either, initially it was Green Sun Zenith target that we brought in out of the sideboard, and then it became a Living Wish target, so we were never even bringing it into the main. And that works out pretty well. Usually Rest in Peace comes down at a time when the game's not already well in hand. Like this is rougher, though. It's harder to do all of the things you want to do with a Rest in Peace out.
All right, so Rector comes down.
Yeah, Pride Mage would be a good way to Living Wish for something instead.
Pride Mage is a good way to bridge both of those gaps there.
Yeah, it's kind of the same cost mana-wise as a Reclamation Sage, and you start losing sideboard slots when you are going to two different Wish packages, right?
Sure. Not quite as solid, just because it can be shut off by things like Revoker, and it can be needled. If he has multiple needles, he can protect with that, but it does allow the versatility of being fetched up by multiple things.
Here comes all of Jeff's hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I believe he's playing both Living Wish and some number of Glittering Wish. We've only seen the Glittering.
All right, so Les is going to be hurting here. So we're going to see a port on the Plains, the only white source. Fortunately for Les, he has a fetch land. But
I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah, this is still a very rough spot.
Let's see, if he had another Pernicious Deed here, and he blew up everything, he still wouldn't get his Rector trigger.
Right.
Even though the Rest in Peace would be gone.
And that Gideon's still going to be in play.
But he could blow it up for 2 and wipe most of the board and still have his Rector out. That'd be a pretty solid draw.
Sure. Second Rector coming down.
Not so much.
And, yeah. So if Deathrite is the most powerful of the Squires, Rector here has to be looking like one of the weaker ones with a Rest in Peace in play.
It doesn't, well, Deathrite doesn't do much with a Rest in Peace in play either.
Very true.
They're both 1/2s.
But one costs 4 mana. One costs 1 mana. One thing to note is 2 Rectors in play will stop a Thalia from being able to attack effectively. You can double block and eat 1.
Yeah, I think I'd be fine with that. Getting Rectors off the board here and having them just go to exile is great.
Sure.
I'd be fine with just swinging out.
And there is a Mother of Runes in play that kind of wrecks that math. Yeah. But
this seems pretty simple. Planeswalk is strong, like actual planeswalking, mountain walk, planeswalk. Yeah.
First strike.
That's good, Jorgensen.
Yeah. So HC Fox brings up a good point. Caracas can actually bounce the.
Yep. It's kind of silly, but okay.
Yeah.
It can now do it here too.
Yeah,
you can bounce your own Gideon and replay it.
Oh.
2 activations with 1 Gideon in the same turn? What is this madness?
That's very cute.
Haha, take those.
Okay. So Les says both of those are going to die, and I'll go to 2. And I'll take a look at my top card, and it doesn't look like...
Jeff should have died.
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed. Nope.
Okay.
Jeff gets it. 2-1. And you guys can see we have about 5 minutes left in round 2. On Friday nights, we just do 3 rounds of Legacy, unlike on Tuesdays where we have 4. So we just have 1 more round coming at you. And it's going to be Jeff versus Burn. Oh, we didn't actually see who won that match.
Unsure. The winner of that match. Yeah. It might be...
That'll probably be our finals match, because we don't have very many players today.
I think Burn lost. I think it's Grixis.
And then, of course, we'll have a backup match as well.
Sure.
Or if the backup match is way more exciting, we'll show you that one.
Yeah.
We'll show you that
Might even be Nick's fit on the backup.
So here we are.
Hello.
We were looking at
Spoilers.
Well,
Spoiler season.
I
Looking for anything that might be legacy playable.
Yeah, we were hoping. So we didn't get to the. Sometimes there's some artifacts that do things. Ooh, look, Impale, a 4-mana destroy target creature
at
for
sorcery.
4 at
Yeah.
sorcery speed,
Yeah.
but it's common.
Yeah.
Okay. Luminous Bonds, enchanting creature can't attack or block. Costs 3.
3 mana pacifism. Yeah.
Pacifism that costs 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah,
Shatter.
It's what's the opposite of power creep?
Power decay.
Yeah, I don't know that one either, Jorgensen. I'm not sure. Power decay. What else did I see that was somewhat fascinating? The negate art's kind of cool.
Negate.
There's some color going on there. Here's what we need to be doing right here. You guys ready for this?
Okay.
Legacy Pirates. Definitely going to be a thing, right? Right? Because before we were playing this Phantasmal image, this one's strictly better, right?
Well, it's a pirate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, has to be.
Totally being serious. I'll make Brian try it. The other card. This thing's a little slow. This thing's crazy. Have you seen this Immortal Sun card?
No.
This is not a legacy thing, but check this card out.
Okay, so 6 mana, players can't activate Planeswalkers' loyalty abilities. At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Wow. That's a lot of stuff tacked onto one card.
Cram it all in there. It's a Mirari's Wake plus... Whoa. Suddenly there's text on the screen. Holy cow.
Somebody wrote a novel.
Yeah. It's not a pirate if you've attacked. Oh, does it lose its pirate nest?
Uh-oh.
But it's going to copy a pirate in our Legacy Pirates deck. It's all right, Jordan. It's okay. You see a 3-mana 2/2 versus Torpor.
3-mana 2/2.
Oh, I see. The Raider?
Yeah.
Ruining all our fun. There's a 3-mana can't be blocked 2/2 with haste. This is actually kind of a card. I don't know. This is a powerful 2/2 can't be blocked card. In terms of what other, like this thing would cost at least 4 if it was just blue, but by tacking on some red, I don't know. It needs Convoke, the Immortal Sun. Yeah, why doesn't it have Convoke? And 6 other abilities.
Well, yeah.
I kind of like this card. I haven't figured out what I would do with it yet. 4-mana 4/4 defender.
Okay.
Then you fight, and when it dies,
control.
you get to transform it. It becomes a land that adds 2 mana of any one color. That's a card by itself.
Interesting.
And you pay 4 to create a 4/4 token every turn. Okay.
So it would be a tutorable target in Nick's fit for killing your own guys.
Yeah. Because you fight another creature you control. Yeah.
So you could Living Wish for it.
Yeah.
And
instead of Garruk.
Yeah.
I think, or Garruk, or however you want to say the Planeswalker. Sure. I think that one's better in its versatility. That's why it's in there instead of another.
You're never going to be able to flip it, really. I wouldn't think. But
yeah, it's a lot of work to make this thing happen. But this is definitely a build a deck around me card. Bring up Storm of the Vault and then figure this out for you. Okay. This card is horrible. It's not a good card. Why? Why are we doing this?
Storm the Vault.
Big Red Joe, thanks for joining us. We'll see you on see you Tuesday. We're not playing Legacy Turbo Depths. I'm sorry, guys.
See you, Joe.
So it's a 4-mana enchantment. Then you whenever you deal combat damage to a player, you get to make a treasure. Great.
Okay.
And then at the beginning of your end step, if you control 5 or more artifacts, you get to transform it.
Okay, and then it transforms into an academy.
An academy with a weird, and you can tap for 1 mana of any color that doesn't need to even be on the card. It wouldn't have changed the card at all.
Yep.
Okay, so if you're playing Legacy,
okay,
and you have a bunch of mana rocks,
sure.
Some of them are probably not the rocks you'd be playing because you're playing blue-red. And then you have to wait till the end of your turn, and then it flips at your end step, beginning of your end step. And then you've got Tolarian Academy.
Interesting. I'm not really seeing, especially in a format full of wastelands, not really seeing that. Like,
yeah, Tolarian Academy is amazing, right?
Like,
and this
yes.
one.
But Tolarian Academy, you're going to be able to use on your turn.
Right. The timing on this one makes it really difficult.
Yeah, that's
people will try it. All right, here we go. We're going to show you guys more actual Magic instead of this whatever that was.
Better than Liquid Metal Code.
All right, we've got Jeff versus Terry. Here it is. In our other match, we've got Joshua, not Josh Snow, versus Les. So you were right. Les is on our backup match. Do you guys want to see more Nixfit or Death and Taxes versus Grixis? Those are the choices. Or he was on 4-color blade. 4-color blade because it's Jeff. And our other match, this is round 3. Nobody's 1-1. Here we go. So normally I try and get that up before we go.
Oh, we're busy talking spoilers.
Yeah, amazing Legacy relevant spoilers. Death and Taxes. I like how Blink comes out of nowhere. You shut your naysayer mouth. Okay, Jorgensen, it's a card. It's a totally relevant card. This Storm the Vault thing.
Jorgensen, when you break it, show us the deck. I want to see it.
Yep.
I really do.
Our backup match. Les versus Joshua. I'm not sure what Joshua's on. We'll find out.
Better idea than Storm the Vault for Tez, the artifact guy.
Have it fight your Strix.
Jam
Endless Vortex. There we go. There. HC Fox, I like it.
Format broken.
Yep. Baleful Strix and the artifact thing.
That's the new meta.
Yep. You play it on 4. What do you have to do to activate this thing? I didn't even actually read the card. It costs 4. You have to pay 2. An additional 2. There it goes. It's ruined.
No.
4 for a 4/4, and you have to pay 2 more to do the fighting.
For a 4/4 with Defender.
Totally relevant Defender.
Yeah.
So on turn 5, you can then have a land that taps for 2 mana of any color. So you'd have 7 mana.
Sure.
Or you could make a 4/4. And it goes in the same deck as Storm the Vault.
All right, so getting underway over here, we see an Aether Vial coming into play on Jeff's side, and a Cavern. Aether Vial ticking up to 1. And we do see that Terry has a Force of Will in hand. He opted not to use that on the Vial.
I think I would have used it on the Vial.
I don't know. So I think I would too, especially when you see that Cavern is what Jeff leads off with.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get much value off of that. Here comes a Stoneforge. I'd imagine you're getting Jite here. Goes for a Dire Skull instead. It's got to be one of those two. I tend to go for Jite in Death and Taxes. Just it's pretty strong at
Yep.
dealing with the board. Terry might be trying to play around something. Possibly like a Revoker or something like that. And the other option is he might already have it in hand.
Yeah, and it seems like Jeff missed using port last turn as well.
Sure.
It would have changed things quite a bit, especially with that wasteland. Yeah, the gravestone card. That's a card. That's an actual legacy card.
Yeah, that's the 1 mana can't target spells in graveyard.
Yep.
Thing. Right there.
There it is. Silent gravestone. It was too quiet. I couldn't find it. It's a new version of. Sorry, I can't think of a single card today. The 2 mana green enchantment one that we've been playing.
Ground Seal.
Ground
Yeah.
Seal. It doesn't cantrip, but it does let you draw a card with 4 mana, and you get to exile all cards, which is a thing. Yeah, that's what I said. It's a new version of that one card that does the one thing, the same thing.
Interestingly enough, I'm not sure if being an artifact is better. I think it's kind of worse, arguably.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more artifact hate than enchantment hate in general. And drawing a card immediately, I think, is a little bit more beneficial. But 1 mana is nice.
Yeah, I think I'd play this over Ground Seal.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see if that makes a difference.
For sure.
I mean, often it's abrupt decay that you're worried about or something, and
yeah.
it takes care of both.
Yep.
Or disenchant.
Alright, so port your Tundra. Down comes another land, and here comes some Batterskull beatdowns. Let's see if Jeff has a Flicker Wisp come into play and deal with that. Looks like he will.
So wait, you play Gravestone, you screw up their Deathrite Shaman, you transmute, and you have to say presto when you do it. Dreadnought. Perfect. Just how we all drew it up. It's going straight into your deck, I'm sure. I'm not sure. The text on Strider Harness, if you guys are looking at spoilers, the flavor text is pretty fun. It's a good time. I haven't read all of the flavor text on every card, but that one's cool. Captain Brinley Rage coming up with the flavor text of the set.
So far.
Well, I think
Who knows?
I think
Who
the
knows
whole set is spoiled now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Just today.
I'll have to take a look. So, I think Jeff's pretty far ahead here, in my mind. Yes, there's a Batterskull in play, but he's got the white mana pretty well locked on Terry's side of the board. Oh, here comes a force to get rid of that swords. He's got a Vial in play. He's got a Cavern in play. He's got a Mother Runes in play. And I can't really think of a lot that's going to get Terry into a position that's going to combat this.
Well, he can bounce Batterskull this turn and replay it.
So let's say he bounces Batterskull and then replays it next turn.
Yeah.
In the meantime, he takes 3 in the air. And then he goes and attacks back.
And he just gets protected.
Mother Runes protects from that.
Sounds fun. So you're saying Jite would have been a better artifact to get? Is that what you're getting at?
I'm kind of getting at... Yeah, I think Jite would have been a little bit of a better get here. But kind of hard to say at the time.
But, and it might not have been that much different, right?
True.
It still would have gotten balanced.
Yeah.
Really, the force of will on the vial.
Yeah, force of will on vial.
I like how you guys are having an argument where you both agree. So while we, I feel like I repeat myself a lot, but while you guys are in chat here at Paragon City Games, if you guys are new to our stream, we do Tuesdays and Fridays of Magic, Paper Legacy, just like this. And then throughout the week, we're going to be doing a lot of Magic Online Legacy games. So if you want, give us a follow.
Sure.
So that you get a notification, a Twitch notification when we go live. Sometimes it changes throughout the day when we're playing Magic Online. But we're purposely trying out a huge variety of different decks. And if there's a particular deck you really want to see, you guys can let us know or even stip it.
Sure.
And Kai or myself or Brian will try it out, figure it out, try and make it better or whatever. We're trying to make it a lot of Legacy content because there's kind of a lacking amount of Legacy, even from Magic Online.
There can be a lot more.
Some of those guys are in Santa Clara right now, and I think the main reason they went is because Legacy is a part of the team GP. So, yeah. And if not, if you guys are all 48 plus of you or whatever have already followed us, even better. Just ignore everything I just said.
And another place you can go, you can check out ParagonCityGames.com. There's a media page there that links to the Twitch stream as well and shows you the streaming schedule. And you can also check out the website for any of your board game needs or miniature needs. I don't believe that they have the cards up yet, but that's coming soon.
Yeah, singles are still. So the singles right now are on a TCG page. A lot of them are. A lot of there's a huge amount of Legends cards in really good shape. If you guys want to check that out, if there's any, Legends is doing a weird thing where a lot of the reserve list Legends cards keep going up.
Hey Naps, thanks for the follow.
Yeah, I got one. One person heard me. He's like, oh. There's that follow button thing I haven't done yet. There you go. They went to search for an alpha illusionary mask. Ah. I didn't know that's what they did. I think an alpha illusionary mask is a bit more expensive than a beta one.
Mm. It looks like there's a Liliana that Terry's considering playing here, but
not gonna do much.
Yeah, it's not really gonna do a ton.
Brainstorm cost 2. Did he only pay 1?
I see 2 mana tapped. I wonder if one got tapped from port. That's what it looks like.
Oh,
Pimpin' Shark, thank you for the follow.
Yeah, Jeff looks like he's got this game pretty well in hand.
Yeah, this is a really rough position for Terry.
And it does make you wonder what would have been with the force on Vial, right?
Sure. So, force on Vial would have been a big thing, and I still think that maybe Batterskull wasn't the first thing to grab here, and that's really unusual these days. That Batterskull isn't just the immediate go get first thing.
Dread of Night would be a card, or Toxic Deluge.
Teferi's response is quite the card, Fox.
Just because it's in your sideboard, Fox, doesn't mean everybody else is playing it.
All right, so Terry packs it in, and Jeff will take game 1.
Perfect. 41. Let's peek over at game 2 of this.
So we've got a Delver in play with Basic Island, and we've got a a single Savannah in play on Les's side. And here comes an evolutionary leap.
What does this card do?
Joshua's going to take a look at that card and go, so this was, what, standard from a couple of years back?
Let's see if I can fix our round
Not even
timer.
played in standard?
34 minutes, is that correct? 50 minutes from there. Yeah,
sure.
I think that's correct.
Looks right.
Changes the time there.
It's close.
I gotta figure out a way to not have the #1 island art detected. Ooh, you like your Ice Age island art, huh?
That's a good one. That's not my favorite island art, but
#1. I think I have like 10 #1s of each art.
It is hard to choose. It's hard to choose.
Got a lot of favorites. Depends on a lot of things too. It doesn't come in foil, Fox. I really like the old frame foils, but there isn't the 96 arena art.
All right, so looks like Joshua's on blue-red. Storm Chaser Mage getting in there.
Wow, I am on it. On it.
All right, and we see a Veteran Explorer in play with the Evolutionary Leap, which is kind of where you want to be if you're less.
Oh yeah, I feel great about this spot.
I see Glittering Wish in hand.
You've got 15 life. You got some room to work with here.
Here comes activation #1. So get a couple basics.
Joshua also gets to go look. Should have more than one island. If he's just on blue-red.
Oh, definitely.
That's a pretty cool mountain art. I like he's just got Ice
consistent.
Age.
Yeah.
They're all different, but yeah. So #2 all-time best. I like how it's just #2. It's not necessarily the #2 best, the #2 awesomeness. It's just #2.
#2.
He's got him in a stack, and on the top of the stack is the first one, and the second one down. All right. So did we already leap?
So I think we're still waiting for that. It looks like he missed it.
I don't think you can.
That's
you can
not
do that.
Okay. Looks like they're getting it.
Okay.
They're getting it here. So he's like, oh wait, okay.
Yeah. You can't resolve half of the ability there. Wow, those would have been some fun draws for less.
Okay.
There we go. So that goes into his hand.
Into hand, he's gonna play it.
Okay. And then those go in a random order. Totally random on the bottom.
Yeah.
Perfectly random. Let's take a look at our other match here. Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
So Thoughtseize coming down. We get to see Jeff's hand right off the bat here.
Perfect timing.
We see Vile, Mother of Runes, a couple creatures,
so what are you taking here?
Flicker Wisp. I think I'd take the Vile.
Not knowing what is in the rest of Terry's hand, the Revoker could be pretty dangerous, but there's no other lands.
I think I'd take the Vile. It's a 1-land hand. We see 2 Mother of Runes, but that's all he's able to play at the moment. And Flicker Wisp really isn't a problem until later. A lot later. Oh. Wow. Takes the Revoker.
Okay.
I wonder what's in Terry's hand. So it looks like there's a Brainstorm. Strix.
Deathrite Shaman. Maybe he's doing it for Deathrite Shaman there.
Could be. There's a Deathrite.
Wants to be able to use his Deathrite.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I still think I would have taken Vile.
Yeah.
I think Terry's kind of underestimated Vile's power in this matchup. So here comes Mom number 1. Brainstorm coming in on Terry's side. He sees Jace, Jite, and a Council's Judgment.
Okay.
All 3 of those look like pretty fine cards.
So do you Council's Judgment the Vile this next turn if you can?
Yeah, I think I would. So Jace goes on top, right? And one other card. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, he's going to shuffle them away here. Shuffle one of them away. He's going to shuffle away the Jace. I don't think there's any lands in graveyards to
Sure.
eat right now.
So here comes Fetch.
And now he's thinking, wait, oh, do I want to lose the Jace? Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Jace isn't really worth it right now.
That was a stacked Brainstorm. Those are cards that you can play. Ooh, we get to see a Zealous Persecution there on the bottom of his deck that he brought in. That's a potential card. Could do some fun things.
Alright, so Deathrite activation going on, and 4 mana, we're going to see Gideon come down. Interesting.
Yeah, the whole point of taking Revoker is so you could do this thing, right? So you'd be able to use your Deathrite Shaman and get out Gideon and use it as well.
Sure. And we see Jeff tick up Vile, leaving Second Mother runes still in hand.
There's that sneaky Caracas where you can potentially Pithy Needle, where you can potentially bounce Gideon if it attacks.
Yep.
Under the new rules. So he probably named Gideon there, not Deathrite Shaman, right?
Probably.
Council's Judgment is going to do some judging. That's my guess.
Probably on that needle, although... Yep.
It gets exiled. It's gone forever.
Yeah.
It's not coming back. Doesn't matter. Jeff doesn't have anything that says, bring back a Pithy Needle from your graveyard to play.
Alright, another Night Ally token coming in. It's been a day for Gideon.
Yeah.
Lots of Gideons on camera.
He's being an ally. More like get wrecked. Get wrecked. It's hard to say. Okay.
All right, GTA of Jeff's.
We're gonna have some GTA battles here. Potentially. Leaving up the Caracas. The top creature in exile in the unset. Man, some exile order also matters. Fox, you might be the only person, actually, ever that's bummed about that. I haven't seen the Reddit thread that everyone's been clamoring for that card and complaining that he's rearranging his exile. But I can feel you. I can see why that would be a thing to be bummed about. Ooh, it's a card we have no idea what it is. It's a Batterskull.
It's a Batterskull.
Yeah. I can't see it, but that's what I'm going to say.
It's a Batterskull. Unless he's got some super secret tech. It's a Batterskull.
Yeah. So we're going to see here how this game plays out with Terry. It has 4 mana, right? His Deathrite can't tap for mana. There's no more lands in graveyard. And Jeff is kind of land light. You don't need a lot of lands, but the Vile on 3 is really going to help Jeff a lot.
And Jeff can be the first one to get his GTA online.
Mm-hmm.
So Flicker Wisp, kill a token.
Yep. So now here's a potentially protected, equipped Flicker Wisp It's going to be able to do some damage and start killing a lot of things.
It can even start coming after that Gideon.
Yeah. While still getting
Jeff
counters.
has plenty of life to work with here. So if he takes an attack for a little bit, not a big deal.
And we and Terry know that he's got another Flicker Wisp to protect even more.
So, equip. And getting in. Let's see if he's coming after. It looks like he's going after Gideon.
Mm-hmm. So you block here, and he hasn't given it protection preemptively.
Yeah, so you could throw the Strix under the bus for 3 loyalty counters and potentially having 1 Mother of Runes offline for a turn.
Mm-hmm.
We do know that there's another Mother of Runes in Jeff's hand, so the opportunity is not going to get much better than right now.
Yep. I like this plot.
Yep.
Oh, and Jeff's just going to...
Wow.
Not even protect it.
That's really interesting. I suppose Jeff knows he's got that second Flicker Wisp, and he just uses the 2 counters right away, takes care of that Stoneforge.
You like ulting right here?
Yeah, ult would be an interesting line.
He can play Jete and equip, but that Mother of Runes that Jeff left back, just block.
The thing is, I don't think that as Terry you can plan on Jeff having a second Flicker Wisp.
Well, he knows he has it.
Does he?
He saw it way back when.
Did he?
The initial Thoughtseize.
Thoughtseize did. Yeah. Okay, so then you can.
You should know. If you protected the Wisp, then you can say,
sure,
it's going to practically die next turn anyway, or it would die next turn.
Yep.
As long as you left a counter or 2 on.
For sure.
Yeah, early on we saw Mother Wisp.
We did.
With the
we saw
Thoughtseize.
Mother Wisp.
Take 4. Not
Think
really.
about it.
Never mind.
So he's gonna make another token in for 4.
Let's make the token first
Sure.
and then attack.
Deathrite not really at its best here.
No.
Just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, you can start gaining him some life once you get some green mana and stuff. That might be relevant. It's gonna get another black source here. With a... What was that fetch line that he just used?
Delta.
Okay.
So Jeff just kind of looking through that graveyard.
Yeah, there's some counting going on, some figuring out of something.
Figuring out life total, I think.
Yeah.
Make sure everyone's on the same page.
It's really weird to go from using pen and paper where you get to write down every interaction to using dice and not being sure.
Right.
And
yeah.
sometimes you've seen our players, the opponent will move the dice for the other player and stuff like that. It's not ideal.
Right. Hardcast Barrow Skull and Flicker Wisp comes down, taking care of that token.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're Jeff, I think you're just equipping and getting in there again for 3. Interesting to see Caracas gets tapped.
Jorgens, and everyone knows, if you play with your lands up front, but also kind of in the corner, then you just tap. Just that much. Just on the 45. Or whatever angle that was. The 30-degree angle. Everybody knows that. Come on.
Well, we've seen Terry kind of playing around with his setup. A couple of rounds ago, we saw his deck at the 45. So.
Right. It is still. My deck often ends up at an angle kind of like that as well. For no particular reason. It just does. Inquisition of Kozilek is in Terry's hand here.
Interesting.
Of course. You can take another Mother of Runes with it.
Could. He does know that's in hand. Looks like 2 cards in hand for Jeff.
We're still resolving a brainstorm here.
Yeah. Jace is okay here. Jace is still not going to do a ton, I believe.
Yeah, if he can make Jeff activate his Mother Runes.
Sure.
And not name Blue.
Now that second Flicker Wisp is down, I think if you're Terry, you should be trying to get GT going on your own and try to take out that Mother.
It's hard to do. It's hard to get damage in. Jorgen's, no, that wasn't. You were being completely serious. All of these cards, you can see his own figuring out. It's hard to figure out which card is good here because none of them are that great.
So here comes
Stoneforge Mystic.
Stoneforge for a shuffle effect. Getting probably just the GTA off the top.
Yeah.
So if you're Terry, what are you looking for here? We know that Terry has a Ponder in hand. He's probably going to cast it here. What are you looking for off of this Ponder?
He doesn't have quite enough mana for it, but if you can go Zealous Persecution and then Jace, that'd be interesting.
Ooh, so we see a Swords. Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, that's a card. He's got the resources. He's just got to figure out the line where to make Jeff do stuff, right? He can't just sit back.
Sure.
He has to be a little bit more proactive here.
So if you do land Jace and go for, say, Jace bounce on a Mother of Runes next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now he's got the sword. So if Jeff takes the bait here and blocks to save a little bit of damage, then we're going to see that Mother go.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing that all along. He's been leaving back Mother of Runes to keep it protecting, right? Even so much as losing the Flicker Wisp to keep the Mother of Runes out, which is, I was surprised since he's got another one.
I was pretty surprised about that one too.
We have a Evil Eye Ormsby-Gore, a foil one, because we have a Ormsby-Gore. Somebody that checks in with chat every now and then.
Nice.
Just hanging out. Maybe eventually we'll have
It's a pretty cool foil, actually.
Yeah. A card for each one of you guys. I'm not sure. You'll have to change your name, some of you. 4 counters on Jitte. Feels bad for the other player.
Definitely. And
Jeff's down to 10 life, though. That's a lot of 2/2s.
Sure. Jeff's kind of toying with the idea of playing that second Mother.
Jace is dead. He died. It was very sad. Another thing that Terry might be able to do eventually, if he has enough time, is equip Batterskull on one thing. Never mind that idea.
Not getting equipped at all there.
I was going to say, equip that on one thing, Jitte on another thing, and then kind of starts changing with what's happening. But
start overwhelming. Second Mother comes down, finally, for Jeff. And third Mother comes down.
So,
wow.
Where is the zealous persecution again?
Yeah, if Terry has it, now's a good time to draw it. But we did see there's 2 lands on top off of the what was it? The Ponder. Did that get shuffled?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Here comes Jace.
He's gonna brainstorm. He's gonna go searching for a zealous persecution.
2 lands and a true name. Not really what you're looking for here. I think you put back discard spell land and fetch them away.
Yep. And then you can run out. So there's still some stuff happening here, right? He can attack for not with those Jitte counters though. I was gonna say he can attack for quite a bit. Jeff can only protect one thing.
So in for 9. Nope. We're gonna fetch. We're gonna say in for 8. And
some timing here.
Something's going on here.
Maybe we're backing up and not attacking quite yet.
Those tokens are still tapped. So.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So now we're getting in.
All right.
So. And true name not looking great against Jitte either. Jitte can gain 4 life a turn. True name getting in for 3.
I like True Name quite a bit, actually, in that finally Terry can use the Jitte that's in his own hand
for sure
and get some damage in.
There's definitely some value to be had, but just not quite as much as it would have.
It gives him a way of killing a lot of things, and he's still on a pretty decent clock here. There's enough stuff on Terry's side that Jeff's going to want to deal with. He's going to want to kill Jace. He's going to want to protect that. He can't do it all. Alright, so we're killing 1. We're blocking one, protecting 1, and chump blocking another. And taking 2.
Interesting.
So it goes down to 8. You don't need 3 mother runes. The extra one's too many mothers.
So
you got the mother and the mother-in-law, and then there's the extra one that nobody. The stepmother, you don't want that one. Get rid of that.
All right. Jeff untaps. And let's see what that card is for the turn. Keeps his vial at 3. All right, so
I kind of like attacking, getting counters on Jitte, and then moving the Jitte over to a Mother of Runes.
To protect it from opposing Jitte?
Or protect at least from more knights, able to get more counters.
Sure.
If you're not going to be using your mana for anything else, at least.
So, coming in at Jace. Kill Jace. Up to 4. Use 2. Kill Deathrite.
Okay.
And pass turn.
Yeah, see, now you're just leaving mana up. The Jitte on a Mother of Runes wouldn't be met horrible.
Sure. Interestingly enough, that chump block with the mom might actually be relevant. Jitte comes down and deals with 2 Mother of Runes this turn, potentially.
Yeah. Yeah, that true name that wasn't looking too great is going to get some work done.
It's going to do a bit here.
Yep. We didn't see what Jeff's card off the top was, right?
No, he's just kind of put it face down on the table. I think he gave it a quick peek, and it's just resting down there under the vial.
Yeah, everybody coming. Son of the team. He's still got a Source of Plowshares in hand. We're going to get at least 3 damage in. He can only block 2 things unless he can bile something in. So that's another 3 damage potentially. Okay, here we go. It is a Flicker Wisp. I was going to say that's the 1 card.
Wow.
So he's going to...
Okay.
I maybe would have flickered Jite there.
Interesting.
I'm not sure the math, but... Is that a turns die? I don't think so.
No. We should still have a decent amount of time.
Yep. I think our timer is about correct. About 9 minutes left. 10 minutes. Get all corpse. Thanks for the follow, sir. Person. Keep doing it. You might know me, sir. I don't know.
Yeah. Thanks for the follow, nonetheless.
Anybody else that wants to give us a follow, please do. That way you can see when we go live.
For sure.
It changes a little bit day to day. It's not always a set time. We try and follow a pretty good schedule. We've got one on the website.
Yep.
But sometimes it's different times of the day.
Sometimes you might be surprised.
Yeah, normally there's something happening on Saturday. I don't think there's going to be a stream on Saturday since our streamers are in Santa Clara.
GPs and all that.
Yeah.
All right, so GTA coming in, 4 counters.
Okay, so we saw there GTA took care of the Flicker Wisp, right?
Yep.
And Jeff could have protected it by spending his own counters.
Just decided not to. Kind of hard to say whether it would matter or not. I think Terry just has too many things to deal with, and that true name's starting to be a problem.
Oh yeah, yep. This is definitely game 2, so we will. I think we're going to have a game 3 here.
Yeah,
and these guys haven't been playing slowly, but they've been taking their time thinking about things.
Oh, yeah.
And it's definitely matters now. If Terry's going to try and win this next game, or if either player is going to try and win the next game.
Jeff down to 2.
I don't see what Jeff could draw that could make a difference.
Yeah.
Terry's got this one pretty locked in. Yeah, neither player is. I agree. Well, if anything, Terry's had more decisions to make and more difficult lines to figure out. Jeff hasn't been, I don't think, playing particularly.
Yeah.
He's been moving through his turns.
Sword.
Okay.
Equip.
That still doesn't quite do it.
Not going to get through the Stoneforge.
Yeah. And true name just attacks him.
That should be game.
Well, he gets to gain a little bit of life, right?
So he can go up to 4, but I think you're seeing lethal off of the creatures if he attacks all out. Here comes Brainstorm. Pretty irrelevant stuff.
Yeah. But just more actions, more time.
Yeah. And Strix. Draw that fetch. GTA re-equip over. Coming in.
Could attack for lethal, but maybe just... Okay, there we go.
Okay. So, yeah. Sends the team, and that should be game. We're just going to do a quick count.
And so at any point here, Jeff could say, all right, you got me.
Yeah.
I can't do the math. It doesn't work.
For sure.
Let's move on to the third game. He's sticking it out, too.
Yeah.
Some Jite math here. If this was on
to 4, block 1, damage happens, and I get my counters, but I'm already dead.
Yeah. If this was on a Thalia with first strike, things would be a little different, but he'd still die the next turn with Terry at 14 life.
Sure. Not to mention, all these hoops that Jeff has to go through, and Terry's GTA still gets counters, so he's able to eat whatever blockers that Jeff might be able to produce next turn. But I'm not sure what's going on there.
All right.
So there was only one counter there on that. We're gonna make sure this gets done correctly. Yep, we're gonna check it out and get it figured out. All right. Looks like they got it figured out, and Jeff concedes there.
Helping him out.
Yeah.
They both were unsure. It's one of those back when damage used a stack.
That's
pre
been,
6th edition.
That's been a long time.
Yeah. All right, so they do have one more game. They're not with the pace that they were playing. I don't know that either player can get something done here.
We'll see what happens. Death and Taxes could come out to a pretty quick start.
Mm-hmm.
Just get a creature down, disrupt the board enough to get in damage and get there. Terry's deck, on the other hand, I think what you're looking for is a true name backed with something.
really, really fast? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can go fetch, Deathrite.
I do see a true name in that opening hand for Terry.
At the end of a phase, there was weird things.
That's a long time ago. Yeah. Back with like necropotence and stuff like that. You're able to drop below 0, and then you're able to drain life back up above the end of the turn.
Because it checked at the phase, at the end of phase. All right, so Jeff is going to be on the play. So what I was saying, Terry, if you can get out like a Deathrite with a fetch land, a quick turn 2 true name.
Yeah.
And if they play quickly.
Yeah. So here we see Underground Sea into a drumroll Deathrite.
Yep.
And
looks like that might happen.
Yeah. There's a true name in that hand. And
it's going to get swords, though. You just swords this here if you're Jeff, right? Hey, Jeff. Right?
We'll help him.
Okay,
yeah.
There it is.
There we go.
Takes care of that one. So, it's a draw.
Both players definitely playing a little bit faster here, but I don't see that you're going to get this done in time.
3 mana. Okay.
Crusader.
Crusader can start doing some damage.
And True Name's going to come down. In for 1.
Yeah, 4. Each one's going to be 4. They are aware of the clock, yes.
We got a battle. Yep. You can see their pace of play has dramatically increased.
Yep, that could speed things up. So we have 4 timers on Friday Night Magic. We have Standard, Modern, Legacy, and I think there's a draft going as well. But I think it's pretty clear which one's which.
Wow. So no attack because of that true name. But GTA equipped, and double strike in GTA is a really strong thing.
Yeah, now true name really needs to stay back as a blocker.
Yep. Jace coming down. Or no, that's going to be GTA equipped.
Okay, so this may be incorrect. I guess the GTA can take care of the Crusader right now, huh? So that's right.
Yep.
I was going to say, put it on Strix so you can leave your flyer back. You don't need to leave your flyer back.
That's fine.
Yep.
Kill it.
And our round timer isn't exact; it's close. Usually, I can hear when the actual timer goes off, so that's not necessarily timing there. And I'm not sure why we don't have this message going.
Yeah.
I'll just turn it off.
That's all right.
We used to have this nice little message that would pop up, and that changed.
All right, Council's Judgment coming down, and that's a good way to deal with that. Ooh, goes for the GT instead of the true name.
Yeah, well,
that's an interesting choice. We see a Flicker Wisp, is it, in hand?
Okay, so there's the timer. So this is turn 0 right now.
Does go for the GT. And I think that's Jeff saying, I don't know what that. I was gonna say I think that's Jeff saying, oh, play for the draw, but I think if you're playing for the draw, you go for the true name. I don't know.
All right, so this math is gonna work out. That was turn 1. Terry gets 2 more turns.
That second true name is a big deal.
Yep. And Jeff might as well have used his wastelands.
Sure.
To take out some lands from Terry. That would have prevented the. No, it wouldn't have prevented the second true name, would it?
But it would prevent a Jace from coming down and fate sealing the top of the library.
Yeah. And he's just playing quick.
Yeah. So Jace comes down, and I think if that's anything relevant, it's just gonna go to the bottom.
I think it was a Stoneforge Mystic, and Terry thought about it like, there's nothing you can. Nope. No.
And Jace can even bounce whatever gets.
What a game 3!
Wow.
We thought for sure that wasn't going to end, but
yeah, and Terry really able to put on a quick clock here. That's probably the ideal hand that you could hope for.
Yeah, especially with the Deathrite Shaman getting swords early.
Yeah,
he got just the right amount of lands and threats, things that made a difference there. So yeah, Terry gets it.
Cool.
He's got the Teferi's Response, and then there's the Zealous Persecution.
Man,
he had the draw.
Fom424, thanks for the follow.
Well done, people who follow.
All right. Well, that'll do it for 3 rounds of Legacy today.
Yeah.
What a way to go out.
Yeah, that was some quick magic after some not so quick magic.
Definitely.
Like I said, it wasn't particularly slow. It just was well thought out.
For sure. Yeah, and things take time. It takes time to resolve those shuffles and those brainstorms and those ponders and all of that.
Thanks for streaming, guys. That last game was sick. So I'll be back here Tuesday night for some Legacy. I think I'll be streaming Monday day. I'm not sure on that. And then go ahead and take a peek at Santa Clara, GP Santa Clara. There's possibility you'll see.
Go root for our guys.
Yeah, you'll see Brian and Kyra and Kyra's brother. And there's a couple other guys that play here.
There's a decent amount of people from Utah showing up.
Yeah.
It's close enough.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us, guys. If you want to, give us a follow if you haven't already. Also, there's this neat little thing that I can type in. If you want to take a look at some cards, there's maybe our TCG store. There it is.
There you go.
That Jorgensen set up for me. There's like I was saying, there's quite a few legends from the Legends set, and in really decent condition.
Awesome.
If you need a
general.
No, not like Legends the subtype, but cards from Legends.
Yeah.
Some Falling Star is a card that's on there. And,
Gotcha.
And Killer Bees and some, but in really good condition
nice.
from this large buy that the store had. And some of those they're just going to keep going up in value, it seems like.
Sure.
So anyway, thanks for joining us. Thanks for following us. You guys have a good night.
We'll see you next time. Hail Heroes.